Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. The Minister of Finance and the Economy assures the public that the Trinidad and Tobago dollar is at no risk of devaluation. 2 more police intakes projected to completely eliminate the labor shortage in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service by 2015. And the Ministry of Health makes it easier for citizens to become vaccinated as its immunization outreach program makes a stop in the city of San Fernando. Thank you for joining us. Finance Minister Senator the Honorable Larry Hawai is assuring the nation that there is no risk of devaluation of the Trinidad and Tobago dollar. The minister gave the assurance in response to recent statements made in the public regarding the value of this country's currency.
There's no devaluation of the Trinidad and Tobago dollar. Finance Minister Larry Hawai is giving the strong assurance that there is no risk of devaluation of the local currency. The minister says this is backed up by recent statements made by the World Bank, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, the IMF and Business Monitor International, all international financial agencies that have conducted studies on the local economy confirming strong performance. He adds that the most recent coming from the Economist Intelligence Unit, which also recently confirmed the strength of the country's reserve position and concurred with the government that there is little risk of devaluation. Providing data on Trinidad and Tobago's foreign exchange reserves, the minister says the economy remains robust at a high record of US $10.3 billion or over 12 months of import cover, while the international benchmark is 3 months of import cover. The finance minister highlights that all indicators point to the fact that the economy is on solid footing, stating that unemployment is currently low, inflation has been subdued, and government revenues are better than projected. He notes that the Heritage and Stabilization Fund stands at over US $5 billion, and the US dollar deposits in the banking system exceeds US $3 billion. While the balance of payments remains positive, amounting to an estimated US $786 million last year and is expected to increase in 2014. Minister Hawai adds that a foreign direct investment is also projected to increase to over US $2 billion this year, with the energy sector returning to growth, further attracting some 85% of TNT's foreign exchange earnings. Minister Hawai says this is supported by the price of oil and gas, which continues to remain firm, all factors which confirm the strength of the country's exchange position. Meanwhile, the minister credited Central Bank Governor Jawala Rambaran for instituting a new system of managing the foreign exchange market. He also placed emphasis on the new auction system being controlled by one which seeks to ensure that there is no disadvantage to small and medium businesses. He gave a firm assurance that the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago will continue to monitor the new system and will make adjustments as they believe necessary. Meanwhile, the minister noted that his ministry is aware of the problems faced by local businesses and expressed confidence that a matter will be sorted out soon. Kimberly Calawan, News 4.
By 2015, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is projected for the first time to reach its full authorized strength. This is anticipated as the TTPS undertakes 2 recruitment drives this year to fill vacant positions. The revelation comes from Senator the Honorable Gary Griffith, Minister of National Security, at the recent Senate sitting.
By 2015, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will for the first time reach its full capacity of manpower. This as the service will do 2 intakes in this year to fill vacant positions. This revelation came from Senator the Honorable Gary Griffith, Minister of National Security, while answering questions on the Senate order paper.
Mr. President, now what has happened over the last 15 years? We have never been able to come up to the actual established strength of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service because we have always been playing catch-up. The recruiting process in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will usually be a batch of approximately 200. But again, because of the concept of attrition based on police officers of their run-out date, retirement, and so forth, we have always just been going around with the same regurgitation of the same problem over and over for the last 15 years. We tried a concept with Professor Mostrovsky, and he did not get it right. We actually brought in a foreign provost. He did not get it right. So we actually look at the system as to see how it is, how best we can actually get the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service at the established strength. And I wish to bring to your attention that what we have done is through the use of the CDA to assist us. We are actually looking, we have, it has already started, batches of 500. So they'll have a batch of 500 between around this time to October, and another batch of 500. So by March 2015, it will be the first time that we will be proud to say that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will actually have the full complement of authorized strength of 7,715 police officers.
The question to Senator Griffith came from opposition Senator Camille Robinson-Regis, asking specifically with regard to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, A, what is the authorized established strength of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, B, the actual strength, and C, whether there are any vacancies for constables, corporals and sergeants, and if so, how many vacancies exist. Minister Griffith disclosed that the authorized strength of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is 7,715, with actual strength as of January 2014 being 6,283 officers, which leaves a shortage of 1,432 personnel. He said this meant the service was operating at around 82% of its sanctioned capacity. Meantime, to a supplemental question on the promotional system of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Senator Griffith agreed that the time it took was too long and efforts were being made to change this.
Under the present system, the promotion of an officer can take up to 3 years, which is really truly unreasonable and understandably frustrating. Consequent to this, consultations were held between the Police Service Social and Welfare Association, and recommendations are being considered with respect to amending the Police Service Act and the Police Service Regulations in order to afford a speedier promotion of process of promotions, inclusive of corporals and sergeants. It is expected that with the amendments, the promotions within the police service can be reduced from 3 years to within a 3-month period. But this involves discussions with the Commissioner of Police and the association, and we have further meetings that will take place early next week.
On the time frame on the amendment to the Police Service Act, Senator Griffith said this will be addressed in coming months. Felicia Wilson-Moore, News 4.
More news after the break. Stay with us. While it is important to get fully immunized, there is still a challenge for some in finding the time or ease of access to take advantage of the services at their nearest health centers. This is why the Ministry of Health is making it easier for you to become vaccinated at your convenience.
The Ministry of Health is ensuring that citizens across Trinidad and Tobago are properly vaccinated and that access to vaccination is easy. On Saturday, the ministry's expanded program on immunization rolled into Gulf City Mall, San Fernando, where shoppers had the convenience of being vaccinated. News 4 spoke to Jacqueline Charles, who explained the purpose of the outreach program.
We have an immunization outreach program, and we continue to have several of these throughout the country. And basically what we try to do is update the immunization status of members of the public who may not have been able to access the health centers due to working commitments and all of that, So we go out, as it said, as you know, it's an outreach. So we reach out to them, tell them what immunizations we have to offer them, and we tell them the benefits of immunization, and so they are afforded the opportunity to update their immunization status.
We were then privy to a demonstration of what the immunization process is like.
Well, this is the normal procedure for our immunization, and what we usually do is assess the client, and if they have an immunization card, as he does, we look at the immunization card and we look to see what vaccines they need. And I have assessed him already, so I have a pretty good idea of the vaccines that he requires. So I'm now going to administer his vaccines. He, according to his last immunization record here, he has to get hepatitis B, influenza, adult TB, and yellow fever. So we first begin by sanitizing our hands. And then what we do, we usually give each vaccine individually, right? It's not mixed together. Each vaccine is administered individually. So this is his yellow fever. I need to get your upper arm. And this is your yellow fever vaccine. Hold it.
Usually one tries to run from being immunized because of a fear of needles, blood or pain, but on Saturday it was evident that not everyone is controlled by their fears. We spoke to a few other persons as they waited to be immunized.
I think it's a very good thing, and I'm working in the mall and it's here today and it is convenient to me because if I had to get a day off and to go to the health center, it is kind of hustling. So that's why I think it is convenient.
The reason why I think it's a good initiative because it's convenient for me in terms that I've been trying to get to a health center for the longest while. And it was nice. I came out today with my sisters. We celebrated on my sister's birthday and it was here, so it's easy. It was really easy just to come here and just get an injection.
The Ministry of Health is urging persons to come out and be immunized as it just might be the best decision you make.
Our theme for 2014 was vaccination your best shot. And it is the best shot that you can ever take in your life because you will be preventing yourself from getting all these diseases that, that we have: polio, measles, mumps, rubella, yellow fever, tetanus, and we could go on and on. We have a wide range of vaccinations that we offer. So be responsible for your health. It's important to be immunized and to remain safe, to remain healthy.
Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
The School of Veterinary Medicine of the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus is celebrating a great achievement, the launch of its One Health, One Caribbean, One Love project. The research project will address diseases spread between animals and humans and foodborne diseases and hopes to establish a network of Caribbean health professionals.
The One Health, One Caribbean, One Love initiative, designed to impact the agriculture, public health and environment sectors, is one of the newest Caribbean-wide projects of the School of Veterinary Medicine, University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus. This initiative is to form a Caribbean network of One Health leaders to improve collaborative efforts between medical, veterinarian, environmental and wildlife professionals. The project will look at promoting, establishing and strengthening regional health approach to zoonotic or contagious diseases spread between animals and humans, as well as the observation, diagnosis and response to foodborne diseases. The research group will target governmental and non-governmental veterinarians, public health and environmental services, and the government diagnostic laboratories, with the final beneficiaries being Caribbean public consumers as well as Caribbean livestock producers. One Health, One Caribbean, One Love is looking to achieve several goals, including the exchange of information and best practices with regional and international bodies and the introduction of new lab techniques and technologies to veterinary diagnostic labs, promotion of quality assurance and inter-lab comparison tests to enable international accreditation. Funding of over €1 million for this initiative comes from the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group of States, ACP, in collaboration with the European Union Cooperation Programme in Science and Technology. The project is expected to last 3 years. It was launched at the Faculty of Medical Sciences Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex at Mount Hope. Felicia Wilson-Mon, News 4.
More news after the break. Stay with us. With the league title already sewn up and the Champions League berth secured, the only thing still to be decided in the 2013-2014 season of the TT Pro League were fourth place and the individual highest scorer. Both teams and both men in contention for those honours were in action on Tuesday night at the Atto Boldon Stadium, and our Wayne Cunningham was also in Couva. He reports on how it all turned out.
Trevin Caesar of North East Stars and Marcus Joseph of Point Fortin Civic FC were the men battling for the TT Pro League scoring title as their teams met in rescheduled matches on Tuesday night. Also at stake for the teams was fourth place on the final standings. Stars had the chance to stake their claim in the first fixture on the night versus St. Anne's Rangers, and they did so early. Kennedy, the tall one Hinkson, with a masterful strike to make it 1-0 in the second minute. They would need some more of those to have a good chance of leapfrogging Point Fortin and taking fourth spot, which the Southerners held on goal difference. But 1-0 Northeast is how the first half ended. That remained the score at the final whistle, as the Sandy Grande team just did not have the firepower on the night to solidify their bid for fourth. It also meant that the scoring title was already decided, as Marcus Joseph was 1 goal ahead of Caesar before the start of the fixture. Northeast would need an inconsistent Caledonia AIA to beat Point Fortin if they were to achieve their goal, and were probably dancing in the dressing room after 5 minutes in Game 2. Pernell Schultz drifting inside to put Caledonia 1-0 ahead. Point Fortin knew only a win would suffice and went after it with their key man leading the way, Marcus Joseph, forcing the save onto the crossbar. The Caledonia keeper was a busy man, but 1-0 was the score at the end of the first 45 minutes. The work rate of goalkeeper Chamel Louison increased in the second half. And when he was not making a save, the Point Fortin attackers were disturbing the wildlife above the goal. Just when it seemed that Point could not get past the Grenadian, they got some help from AIA's Akeem Thomas to tie up the score. The lanky Antiguan nodding in past his own keeper in the 85th minute. Caledonia's woeful season was completed 4 minutes into extra time, when Marcus Joseph finally struck and secured a 2-1 win for Point Fortin. He ended the season with 16 goals, with Caesar, W Connection Jovan Jones, and Willis Plaza of Central FC all scoring 14. Following the match, the striker was honoured by TNT Players International of New York for his achievements and will now join the national team in camp ahead of the Argentina friendly. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we come back, the mysteries of life on Earth. Stay with us. The mysteries of life on Earth and its existence beyond the universe are just some of the questions we raise as humans living in this world. While in a new book by His Excellency Gauri Shankar Gupta, High Commissioner of India to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, titled Unraveling Mysteries of Life, Modern Science and Ancient Wisdom, he attempts to unravel these existential questions.
How was the Earth created? What is the universe? What causes life forms such as plants and animals to come into existence? These are some of the questions High Commissioner from India to TNT, His Excellency Gauri Shankar Gupta seeks to unlock in his book titled Unraveling Mysteries of Life, Modern Science and Ancient Wisdom. In welcoming the recently appointed commissioner to the country, University of the West Indies Principal Professor Clement Sankat credited the book during its launch as raising a number of important questions to life's purpose and existence.
This publication is thought-provoking and intellectually stimulating because Mr. Gupta challenges us to face several fundamental questions which have confronted the human mind, confronted all of us since time immemorial. What constitutes the universe? It's good Brother Harry is here also. What constitutes the universe? Is the universe finite and measurable? If so, what lies beyond it?
While the book focuses on philosophical issues in a contemporary manner, the author seeks to highlight understanding these issues, and its answers are found in the fundamentals of life. He says the journey in gathering his thoughts for writing led him to recapture stories told by his ancestors.
When this book was first launched in Budapest, the president of Hungary asked me that, do you really think that you can reveal or unravel the mysteries of life? Is it that easy? I told him, sir, it has already been done by our ancestors. What I'm going to do is just to recapitulate what has been told centuries ago and lost in transition since then.
In his book, Gupta also looks at all the theories of creation put forward so far. He looks at how time and space all work together with a consciousness to create new elements.
Nothing can be created without consciousness. Nothing can be created without consciousness. Some scientists say, including Charles Darwin, that somehow the matter, some combination of the matter reacted and it became active and the cell was created. But you can give me any single example in this universe where the things could be created without consciousness. I can challenge that. We are a big creator as a human being. We create spacecraft, we create submarines, we have created huge buildings, cities, because we have consciousness. We have that power to think which comes from the consciousness. If a person dies, his consciousness is gone, can he create anything? Can this table create anything? It cannot. Nothing can be created without consciousness. This is a simple logic. So consciousness is the prerequisite for creation.
Meanwhile, the launch of the book brought reflections of India and its influence in philosophy to the conversation. Some chose to reflect on the change in political tide which occurred over the past several weeks, the electing of a new party and Prime Minister to India. Brother Hariprasad Maharaj, president of the interreligious organization IRO, said a special prayer in light of the recent event.
We also remember the country of Bharat, of India. We want to ask you, dear God, that you also bless the new leaders who have been triumphant in election recently. Continue to bless this land so that we'll continue to have so many role models who will take us forward.
His Excellency Gauri Gupta has served the Indian Foreign Service in 1981 and was an alternate member of the Executive Board of UNESCO. His other writings include Mongolia, the Land of Blue Skies, and poetry books titled Droplets and Chand Lamhe. Kimbaram Kalawan, News 4.
Well, on that matter of existence, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. Now, remember, you can view a repeat of our newscast weekdays at 6 a.m. And feel free to visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/RTV4. I am Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.